Right, before we get into it, guys, I'm doing this because we never do this. Everybody needs to check out the RDA system website, www.therdsystem.com, because we have launched our very own health and wellbeing app. On this app, we have over 16 professionally designed programs, depending on what your goal is. We also have nutritional lifestyle resources. We've just recently dropped the stress resource, which has a 22-page ebook on how to 6 steps to master stress. And also we have a nutritional resources there which have over 100 recipes on. So guys, if you're wanting to join the RDA app for less than £20 a month, then check out www.therdsystem.com. We did it.
It's a bit of a no-brainer, really, isn't it? I mean, it really is a
Yeah.
no-brainer. It'd be stupid not to, and just go ask yourself, guys, are you stupid? I don't think you are. So just sign up.
Yeah. Don't be a fucking idiot. Sign up to our app.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's about.
So, before we get into it, Jack, our episode today is tips about forward rolls. Current news is about Rebel Moon. Fit Talk is about tech in health and fitness. And I've combined the hot topic and study time today to talk about the 5 best habit techniques according to science. But Jack, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Thank you very much. Although the more I speak, the more I'm noticing my voice is sounding a bit scratchy, but I don't know what's happening there. So I'm probably going to be that annoying person who clears my throat more than usual because I always do it anyway. But other than that, I'm good. My back is feeling way better than it was last time we recorded, which is also handy.
Good.
I'm still not being able to train to the level I would like to train, obviously, and I'm going to have to probably wait longer than what I think I'm going to have to wait because I know what I'm like and I'll probably hurt myself again. So yeah, I'm good. I'm still getting a bit of training. Just been doing mainly upper body stuff and body weight on the legs, which is fun. Haven't been in the plunge in a while though because I don't want my back to tighten up, which is upsetting me.
Yeah, it'd be
what
cold
I'm really
as shit
worried
when you
about,
get back in.
it will be cold as shit, yeah. So what I'm worried about is getting in there at 6 o'clock in the morning while it's dark and not being able to get back out because my back seizes up. And there's only it's like pitch black, and I'll be shouting out to Kimberly to come and save me or something. I'm like, no, I don't want to risk that just yet. So
that'd be so funny if you have to get rescued out of your cold tub by
oh
your
my
missus.
god, it'd be terrible. Then there's no way she can lift me up as well. She wouldn't be able to. I'm like 100 kilos. She wouldn't be able to lift me up. But other than that, everything is spiffing. What about you? How's stuff going?
Yeah, good, man. I got to sit on a ride-on mower for the first time yesterday, and I tell you what, I had the most fun of my entire. I had headphones in, I was listening to music, just driving up and down this garden on this ride-on mower, singing along. It was absolutely great. It was so fun. I was living the dream on this ride-on mower. Yeah.
Do you know what a Stiga is? Have you ever heard of a Stiga?
No, what's a Stiga?
A Stiga, Stiga. It's like it's a ride-on mower, and that's what I used to have. So it's not like one that collects everything. It's not like a tractor one. It's like this thing that can do a complete 360 in like the diameter of itself, and
Oh,
it's like
nice.
articulated in the middle. And they were great fun. I used to burn around those when we done like corporate gardening contracts and just mow the grass on them. I used to love doing stuff like you say. Just have your earphones in and just chill out. It was good. However, I do remember though, because this was the days of wired earphones when I used to do this before Bluetooth earphones were really a thing. And you know, on the steering wheels where you get the little knob thing you hold on to, just steer it fast. I would do that, but always catch the bloody wire and rip it out my ears all the time. But that was like, first world struggles back then.
Yeah, mate, I know what you mean. I didn't get Bluetooth headphones until like this year, and I was always on wired headphones. And my God, I used to it's such a game changer.
Yeah.
Such a game changer.
I don't think. Well, mine hasn't. Yours the model up, so it definitely hasn't. Mine hasn't even got an earphone port anymore, which I didn't realize until a few weeks ago. So yeah, it just doesn't even.
It's so annoying.
I think you have to
Do you know
buy
what
a
the
little
worst thing
connector
is?
thing.
Yeah, the worst thing is it's for the car. So we have an aux lead in our car, but I can't stick that in anymore. So you have to get the connector, but the connector always breaks really easy.
Can you not do a USB? Can you not get a USB to aux one?
No.
No, you
Maybe.
wouldn't be able to, would you?
I have no idea, mate.
Who cares? This is
No.
a shit conversation. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Josh.
Shut
So,
Go on. What have you got?
I was actually going to take it away from tips for a while, but then I remember what I said in the last episode about doing 100. So let's leave it at that today. So sometimes my tip leans forward. Other times it rolls forward, and like sometimes I have to get the thumb involved.
Oh,
Let's just wipe
God's
that.
sake.
Just tell me what the tip is.
Fuck's sake.
Is
No
a
wonder we
forward
got no
roll as nice as
listeners.
a cinnamon roll? That's all I want to know.
Oh,
There you go.
my
I'm just going to
God.
redeem it a bit.
Yeah, no, that was no wonder we have fucking no listeners. Oh my
Oh dear.
Jehovah. Okay, right. So, my fitness tip today is learn to forward roll.
Yes. Good.
Nothing to do with Jack's Willie. So,
Hey, where did that come from? I don't know what you're talking about.
so yes, my fit tip is learn to forward roll. Now, the reason for this is I think it's a mandatory life skill. Now, the reason for it, so I obviously learned from, you all know I do jiu-jitsu, and from learning jiu-jitsu, you learn a lot of rolling, and I found I'm now really good at falling over. So a lot of people, especially as you get older, if you don't learn to fall correctly, you that's how you end up breaking a hip or breaking your elbow, breaking your shoulder. Whereas if you learn to forward roll, you learn how to go with a fall. You learn how to use momentum, go with it, and you get to understand your body a little bit more. And it's not as fucking hard as you think. So I think everybody should learn to forward roll. Also, it's mega fun. So give it a go.
Yeah, I still remember the day that my friend Darren Hards. I don't think he listens to this podcast, but he always took credit for my ability to be able to do a forward roll. I used to love running and jumping when I was at school. It was like even before parkour was a thing. I would there was a certain railing in my secondary school at the lower school that I would jump over and and land basically. I'd always land on my feet. And he said, oh, why don't you try this? And you like demonstrate the commando roll, like where you roll over on your shoulder and stuff like that. So I landed like that. And yeah, that memory is always stuck in my head because from that day since he's always taken credit for, do you remember that time I taught you how to commando roll? I was like, yeah. It was all you.
Well, that's it.
It was
Yeah.
all you.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks, Darren Hards. Shout
Thank you,
out.
Darren Hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it is. It like I say, it's a life skill, and it could actually probably save your life if you're taking a tumble. It really, genuinely could, because save you smashing
Yeah.
your face into the ground. If you can tuck and
Yeah.
roll, and you can actually, if you do it fluid enough, you can end up back on your feet.
Yeah. Exactly that. And also it's good for if you're falling from height as well. So learning how to break fall like that. Like if you're dropping off a bit and it's a little bit high, then learning how to roll at the bottom is really important. And what it does is it makes you less scared of some stuff. Usually fear causes people to like be hesitant and freeze and then hurt themselves, or it
Especially
causes
with
people
jumping.
just or it causes people to just not do stuff. So if you learn how to do that, then you're more open to trying new things. So that's why I would say learn to forward roll. So let's move on to
Yeah.
our current news, and we're staying in the
Mhm.
geek realm today for current news. And I was thinking about this on the car on way home actually, and the trailer came out for the first Rebel Moon movie by Zack Snyder on Netflix, and uh, my question here is: do we think Rebel Moon is going to be the next big sci-fi series? Is it going to have the same reach as, and this is me really shooting here, as like a Lord of the Rings or something that kind of big as a Guardians of the Galaxy? I know Guardians of the Galaxy had Marvel behind it, but something that kind of level, because it looks like it's got the production. If the story's there, do we think it's going to be that big?
I mean, I think we've spoken about this before, but on the podcast, Rebel Moon, when Zack Snyder wrote it, is supposed to be a Star Wars film. So
Mm,
what basically they turned it down in the end, so he's now created his own mythology instead of enveloping it into the Star Wars universe. Netflix is betting massively on it. One of the worrying things for me, though, is that they were going to. I think this is what's happened. I haven't done my research too much on this. I think I remember hearing somewhere there was supposed to be a game that releases with it at the same time, also funded by
Mm.
Netflix, and that got canned. I don't know why. So I'm hoping that's not a sign of the fact they're like hedging their bets a little bit more, because I just from the trailer it looks like it's got amazing potential. I mean, the cast looks spot on. I always forget her name. What's the name of the main lady, the one who was in The Mummy and The Kingsman?
I'll
I
look it
can't
up
remember.
now.
It's also got Charlie Hunnam. Is it Jimon Honsu? I don't know how to pronounce his first name. And yeah, it looks, the production, the special effects, the acting, it all looks spot on, and it looks like a slightly more adulty version of Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean they've got Sophia Botella is
That's
the
it.
lady you're
Yeah.
thinking of. Charlie Hunnam,
Mm.
Anthony Hopkins is in it.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you've got there's quite a few. Jenna Malone, I recognise. Mikhail Huisman, who's the guy, he's like the farmer who hangs around with her in a trailer. He's
Mm-hmm.
bloody Corey Stoll, who plays Yellow Jacket in Ant-Man's in it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's got a beard in it, isn't it? It took me a while to recognise who it was in the
Mm.
trailer.
The guy who you're thinking of, for some reason, is not on the cast list here, but I've definitely seen him, so I don't know
Yeah, he's
why he's not on
definitely
the
in
cast list.
it.
Yeah, there's a few good actors in this. Well, all of them are obviously good because they're in a
Mm.
big movie, but yeah, there's some great looking. It
Oh, it's
looks
got
like a great
Ajax in
cast.
it from Deadpool as well, isn't it?
Ed Skrein.
Yeah, it does. It looks really good. I'm looking
Mm,
forward to it. I'm glad Sophia Boutella is getting like the limelight, because although she was the Mummy in the Mummy remake, I don't think she was
mm,
given I wouldn't have said she was the main character, and
no,
she was obviously awesome in The Kingsman with her athleticism. So I'm hoping they use that to play into it really
yeah.
well. I've got a funny feeling that she is playing someone much younger than what she is, because she's actually 41. And
Is she
I'm
fuck?
going, yeah. I've got a funny feeling that she's going to be playing someone who's supposed to be like in their 20s, because she does not look
Mm.
41 either. She does look like in her 20s.
No, she doesn't look 41 at all. So
Mm.
do we think it's got that potential to be up there?
I think it's got the potential. Let's face it, the people who are really going to be judging this is going to be hardcore Star Wars fans. I think that's going to be the
Mm,
main market that it appeals to. Disney's fucking up a lot at the moment with a lot of its IPs. The Marvel
mm,
is just getting slated left, right, and center. The Disney original film remakes are getting like slated for being woke and all that sort of stuff.
mm.
This is the chance for something else to step up whilst Disney is at a weak point, and it's almost like perfect timing for this sort of thing to come out. Although I've heard Ahsoka's brilliant, I haven't watched it yet. I would always love Star Wars, but I think people love an enemy at the moment, and Disney seems to be filling that gap for quite a few people.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people will be looking to this as a Disney killer, basically. So who knows?
Mm.
It might be amazing. It's definitely, the timing is right, the production value looks right, the cast looks good. It's got potential.
It has got potential. Definitely.
Mm,
I really hope so as well. I'm ready for something fresh and new to like delve into and enjoy, cuz like it all seems to be like Marvel, Star Wars, all of that sort of stuff. There doesn't seem to be an original take on anything, an original thing. And it's not even off a book either, as far as
mm.
so it I excited for that.
Yeah.
Something new. It's
It says
almost
part
like
two is going to be coming out on April 19th, 24. So yeah, like four
quick.
months later. Yeah, really quick. I think they shot them back to back. I
Mm,
I can almost guarantee that'll be delayed. And it
yeah,
says here, part of the film's talks are on for the franchise to have a TV series and a video game adaptation as well. So let's see
amazing.
what happens. Mm.
It reminds me of, did you ever watch something that I thought was going to have the potential and didn't happen? Was Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets.
What
Did
about
you
that?
ever
Sorry,
watch that?
what? I did.
Did
Yeah,
you ever
yeah. I
watch?
actually quite enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like that was another one that was going to have the potential to be really big. Cara Delevingne was really big at the time. Or Delevingne, sorry, was big at the time, and Dan DeHaan, who plays Valerian. And I felt like that was going to have the potential to be just as big, and it just didn't hit, did it? It just didn't
Yeah.
quite.
It didn't. I thought it was actually really good. I'm the only in terms of being a franchise, because it was a Luc Besson film. I believe it was a Luc Besson film anyway.
Just
And I don't know if
yes,
he's any. I don't know if he's done many sequels because for me, like The Fifth Element is one of my favorite films of all time, and so
mm,
is Leon. Although they're very different tonally, The Fifth Element,
mm,
such a good film. But again, I don't know whether the Valerian one was supposed to, but it seemed like it was the beginning of a franchise. But I don't know whether it was intended to be or anything. But like you say, it didn't hit properly. It wasn't. It
no.
wasn't a critical success at all.
Did you know that Luke Besson had taken the first
No, I
one?
did not. I don't like Taken.
Yeah, did you
Mm.
not? Oh, I
No,
like the
I
first
thought
one.
it was trying to be a Bourne clone when it came out, and I wasn't that interested in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he also did The Family, if you remember that with Robert De Niro, where he's like, I think he's like ex-mob or something, and their family is absolutely savage.
That's the comedy, isn't it? Isn't it comedy?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen. Yeah, I have seen that.
yeah. Okay, right. So potential. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
let's see. I have a lot of faith in Zack Snyder. I am. I was. What the fuck is going on with DC? I don't know. I'm pissed off they cancelled the Snyderverse. I would have loved to have seen where he was going to take it. And yeah, I think DC never really picked up the steam that the MCU had. And I
Mm,
don't know if James Gunn's going to change that, if I'm completely honest. So
no.
yeah, let's just see what happens.
So let's give it now. Let's just have a guess. I want you to give it a preliminary rating now, out of
Oh,
10. I know you haven't seen it. We don't have a know. Just from the trailers, what you think it's going to be. How out of 10?
I am going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. I think I'm expecting big things. I like the style that it's shot in. I like the epicness of it. For me, what's going to make it what's going to make it reach that 8 or higher is how invested I get in the characters, which obviously we're not going to know from the
Mm,
trailer. So
no.
that's the main thing. Let's see how it looks.
I don't know if I want to give it a high rating, but I don't know if I've been let down by so many like potentially big movies like this that I feel like it might have a bit of a lackluster story maybe. We don't
Hmm.
know, obviously. So I'm going to go a reserved 6.
6, okay. I'm glad you didn't go 7. I hate 7. I always think it's a cop out answer.
Really?
Okay, reserve 6.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? So, and here's the thing. Here is why I'm probably more inclined to agree with you. I'm just being hopeful. Is that
Mm.
you look at shit? What was it called? Heart of Stone. What was that thing with Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, and Gal Gadot?
Oh god, yeah.
Red,
Was that Heart of
red,
Stone?
no, Red Notice.
Red
Heart of Stone. So I knew it. Red
red
Notice. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
For me, high production value, top notch A list cast, especially like at the time it came out.
Yeah.
And that was just lacking. That felt like an episode of a TV program
Mm.
for me. And I'm
Yeah, yeah.
finding this more and more with films recently. It's like I really like the animated Mario film, by the way, but I felt that felt like a TV episode as opposed to a feature film. I
Yeah.
haven't watched that new Gal Gadot film, which is The Heart of Stone.
Oh yeah.
One thing I'm gutted that Netflix didn't carry on with was Underground 6, the Ryan Reynolds thing, because that's set up so well for a sequel, and it just now it's not going to
Yeah.
happen. So I don't know. So that's why I'm inclined to agree with your 6 because it felt like an overindulged TV episode for their big budget last film. So who
Yeah.
knows? Hopefully it'll be
The
okay.
other one I wish they carried on with. What was the one with Charlize Theron where they were like
Oh, the old
they
guard.
never. Yeah. Oh fuck, that was so
That
good.
was a good film, man. There was
Yeah,
talk of a
yeah,
sequel to that for ages. I completely
yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about that.
Yeah. I might actually watch that again.
Yeah.
That was so good.
You've
Yeah.
got the
Okay.
Extraction films. They're, to be
Yep.
fair, the Extraction films, they were banging. They were really, really good. So, and I reckon that,
Mm,
well, the way they've left it, there's got to be a third one of those. So, yeah,
mm.
perfect. Okay. Before we carry on, Josh, I'm just going to pause us because we were talking for a long time before we press record, and I need a wee.
So do I. So it's good. And
And we're
we're
back.
back.
We're back.
Yeah. So let's go into our fit talk. And we talk, Jack, all the time about new fitness technology that's coming up and how it's going places. You actually sent me a video the other day of that new like smart pin thing, which
Oh, I
looked
forgot I
amazing.
sent you that. How mental was
Yeah,
that?
absolutely mental. But we talk about fitness tech all the time, and it is developing. But I thought I'd ask you the question: if technology could impact only one aspect of health and fitness, now this could be monitoring, or it could be enhancing in terms of your fitness, your nutrition, or your just general health. What would you pick? What would you choose to have if you could only pick one? What would you have be made through technology and made as best as possible?
Hmm. If I'm talking about a very specific dream thing that would probably be possible, but the ethics of it would be slightly questionable, it would be to release the perfect amount of hormones at a given time on any day to make sure someone had the motivation to work out. If
Mm,
there could be some sort of some sort of thing that stimulated something, or it's probably going to be, the thing is, you say technology is probably more pharmaceutical than anything else, and it's probably a surprising answer from me considering my views on most of the other pharmaceutical things. But if if it can actually stimulate motivation in some way or another, I think that would be good. Or even like a Pavlov's dog kind of thing, where you actually have to work with it in tandem for the first few weeks to make it happen. But then when
mm,
all you then need is an anchoring event to then make you want to
mm,
work out or something like that. Basically, it would be motivation in a pill, or even self-awareness in a pill, to know to have your motivation take precedent in it, but not necessarily a pill. It could be anything.
mm.
Funny enough, that sort of thing would go well with the hot topic that you've got for today as well. It would be something
Yeah.
to stimulate a habit. Basically, I
Yeah,
think that would be good.
that's interesting. And I wonder how hard that would be in terms of making that motivation specific. So I know that we've found a study before and they found a specific gut microbiome that actually motivates people to exercise. So if it's something like that, or if this whatever you if it's a pill or an injection or something that you take, um that just motivates you, because then
Mm.
it does it motivate you specifically for activity, or does it just motivate
Or in the same way, motivating you a little bit worse, you buy a belt and it measures your waist every time you put it on, and if you gain too much, it says "sort your life out, you fat fuck." That's technology.
you?
Like a
That's tech.
smart belt. Yeah, like a smart belt.
Yeah.
So that
Mm,
that would be like my dream one. Just a way to motivate people for the first instance, and then it somehow drops down to then allow people to be able to do it self-motivated.
mm,
But my next one would literally be fully body tracking base layer clothing.
mm.
So it literally, you could point your phone at you and it will give you an AR. Oh god, can you still hear me? I just knocked my microphone really
Yeah,
hard.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, we
So
can hear you.
you could point your my phone, point your camera at you, and it would literally be able to give you an AR overview of your body, correct form, correct technique, give you input on where your imbalances are and stuff like that, which I'm pretty sure we've spoken about before. But
Mm,
that would definitely be for for our field, especially. That would be fucking amazing, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. That would be cool. That definitely would be cool. So
Mm,
I like that idea. It'd be interesting though if we could have it another way that it's not just like a base layer of clothing, because then you always have to wear that clothing to do that. I guess if it's just you're doing it while you're training, so it's for
Yeah.
training only, then that's fine. And you have like the question is it just like one piece of kit, or do you have like multiple different like pieces of kit that's all that technology, and then that ends up costing like, 'cause, you're not going to wear the same training gear 2 days in a row unless you're a dirty bastard.
Mm.
So you're going to want to have a mix. So does that
So
then
in my
become super
mind, it would
expensive?
be like it would be a base layer leggings, base layer top, and with that, you'd probably have to give yourself an assessment. It would take you through a whole workout assessment. Then, based off that assessment, it give you feedback, and then every month you do another assessment with it, or every week, or
Mm,
something like that. I think that would probably be
okay.
a good thing. And at the same time, like it takes all the other levels as well, like stress levels. It would have a heart rate monitor and stuff like that,
Mm,
and it'd almost be able to in real time give you feedback and tell you what needs to improve, and then you just assess yourself once a week. Jesus
mm.
Christ, that's actually a really cool idea. Let's do
Yeah, why
it.
not? Let's do it.
Hmm.
That's cool. So that's not a bad idea. There we go. So
Hmm.
mine are a
What about
bit
you?
more. Mine's a bit more. I've got two, and they're a bit more out there. One of them. Have you ever watched the movie Lucy with Scarlett Johansson?
Yes, I have.
Right, and
Great film. That's a Luke
she
Besson film as
she
well.
is it. Oh
Yeah.
fuck! You know what? She gets to that point where she meets her friend, and she can see essentially like all her friend's insides, and see that her friend has a tumor, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's like you need to go to the doctors. You're gonna die. I'm a massive hypochondriac, so I would love like a mirror that essentially is like that, or like in Thor: The Dark World, where Natalie Portman's on a table and they pull up this like thing above her and they can see everything that's going on in her body. I'd like
Mm-hmm.
something like that, where at all times I can look into a mirror or something and does a scan of my body and goes, okay, potentially you might be like 5 years away from an aneurysm because your heart's really bad, or your levels of like this and this, or you've got the potential for this, or you've got a little
Mm-hmm.
benign tumor in your leg, something like that. I would like something like that because I freak out about this shit all the time, and I know there's nothing wrong with me, or maybe there is. Who knows? Because there's a lot of things people don't know, and also it could monitor the minor stuff that is going to lead into bigger stuff and say this is a protocol you need to do to fix this point every time you look into it. That would be fucking golden. That would be
Mm.
amazing. But that is like proper out there. I don't know
You,
how they would do
you
it.
say it's out there. We've done. We've talked about studies in which AI is now given better prognoses about medical conditions than what humans are. I think the moment AI technology gets really, really integrated with fitness technology, I don't see that being too far off because once you've got like several million data points for AI to take
Mm,
from, and you've got something that is measuring everything, it's going to be able to get pretty accurate with stuff like that. It's going to be saying,
mm,
well, this person in freaking, I don't know, Missouri in America experienced this data point, and so did this person in Australia, and so did this person for like
mm,
10,000 people. It's going to be able to relate that to whatever your body is showing at any given time. And then, yeah, with some sort of like mirror overview or something like I'm sure
mm.
that that technology probably isn't as far off as what it could be if people were willing to put the money into it.
Yeah, and all you do is once a day, like in the morning or in the evening, you just stand in front of the mirror, does a quick beep boop boop boop, and then just
Mm,
gives you your stats and says maybe you should do this, or maybe you need to take this today, or maybe you need
mm,
to start this protocol or whatever. My other one would be a this is a nutrition thing. So I think I don't want there to be like a pill where you never have to eat again. But what if there was like a machine, like a Ninja air fryer thing, that you gave it your meal plan and it just made that fucking food for you
oh my
and it's
god,
there and
that would
ready?
be amazing. Have you seen the robot kitchen, by the way?
No.
Oh my god! Right, so this that technology exists. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's called a robot kitchen. I'll see if I can find it while I'm talking to you. But there is this. There's a thing that basically it's on two rails above a kitchen counter, and above this kitchen counter there is like all the food, like a fridge, a cooker, and everything like that. And it's got two or more hands that come off of it, and
Yeah, I've seen.
it can prep all your meals. Have you found it?
Yeah, it's called Moley, Moley.
Moley, Moley,
Robot
Moley,
kitchen. Yeah,
robot kitchen.
Moley Robot Kitchen.
Right, is that the thing I'm thinking about? Yeah, so that yeah, that's the thing. And then it's freaking insane. So you can. What do you mean my connection isn't private? It's not letting me go on there for some reason. Yeah, you can go onto there and you can. I can't go onto their website, for example, for some reason. Oh, yes, I can.
Oh yeah, it won't let me on it.
Yeah, basically, this thing you can give it meal plans as long as it's got access to all the ingredients. It can do all of that stuff. I'm just expecting it probably costs like tens, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds. But
it's like
yeah,
340K.
Is that how much it is? Jesus Christ! Yeah. How? But that's it. I mean, that's technically what you were talking about. So
Yeah,
that
and then
would
if you
be.
could, if you could program in your macronutrient based meals in there and just say, I need this for these times, and if you could say, I need these prep for the week, would it just fucking do it?
Maybe. I'm sure if it can't
Amazing.
already, I bet people would work on how to do it. If that was mass available, you could be damn sure that people would work out how to make that work.
Oh
I mean,
my
that would
God. I
be,
didn't
yeah,
realize it was already a thing.
yeah.
Well, I know what I'm getting. Shit.
Let's
Wow.
when we get the RDA offices, it could be a worthy investment.
Yeah. Oh, fucking yeah, it could. Oh my God.
It's been out for a couple of
Wow.
years. I mean, this article here is from 2021, so yeah, it's just I don't know how you have to have everything. I don't know how you set up the food and what have you. But again, if this was mass produced, you'd probably just have like a fridge that goes along with it and everything, so it just knows where and how to access everything, and you just have your food delivered, put in your fridge, and boom, it's done.
That's amazing.
The
That's
company
so
claims
fucking
the
good.
ceiling-mounted device called Modi Robotics Kitchen will be able to cook over 5,000 recipes and even clean up after itself when it's done. It's a London-based company as well. Okay, right.
No.
Let's grow this podcast really quick, guys. If you're listening to this, share it everywhere so we can get sponsorship from these people.
Yeah. I want a Moley Robotics Kitchen. Holy
Mhm.
crap. Wow. That's
It can crack
amazing.
an egg, but it can't yet peel a potato or it can't dice carrots. What the hell? That's got to be such an easy thing to do. Because of
We'll
this,
get
you'll
there.
need to handle some of the prep work yourself and then lay out the pre-weighed ingredients on the counter. Or it
Mm.
has got a smart fridge already. There you go.
Oh, wow. This is so
Yeah,
cool.
£248,000. It says here, $335,000. Yeah, that's
Wow.
$250,000. Oh fuck it, it's well worth it.
Hell yeah. Amazing. Okay. Right.
There you
So that's the
go.
tech we want. I mean,
Mm,
we actually might not be far from getting it. So
mm.
why not? Now let's move on to our hot topic. And I've combined the hot topic and the study time together today because the hot topic is based off a study. I listened to one of the Modern Wisdom podcasts on Monday, and he interviewed a guy called Spencer Greenberg. Now, Spencer Greenberg is a mathematician, but he also does a lot of studies on how to optimize stuff. So he does a lot of studies on psychology and philosophy and society, all of that sort of stuff. And he's got loads of different companies in that, but they've just done a study on habits. So today's hot topic is the 5 best habit techniques according to science. Now, my results are I want to help you become a habit machine. My drivers are because mastering habits helps us achieve our goals. And actions are I'm going to outline a recent study, which I've just explained, and how it can benefit us. So, you can actually find all the information on this study and a load of other really helpful resources on Spencer Greenberg's website, which is www.clearerthinking.org. and he's got loads of tools on there to build habits based off of this study and a lot of stuff. So in this study, what they did is they tested 22 habit forming techniques. So if you don't know what habit forming technique is, it's essentially something you do in trying to achieve a habit. Yeah. So if your habit is you want to get up every morning at 6 a.m., then what are you doing to help make that habit a real thing? So they tested 22 habit forming techniques, and they tested them of over 477 people in different areas, so from control and randomized and lots of different things, and allowing people to choose. It was lots of different areas. They analyzed 1,256 data points from 477 people, and yeah, they came out with the 5 best habit forming techniques. Now, Jack, obviously it's just discussionary, so anything you have, any input you have, please put it in. But these are the best habit forming techniques if you're wanting, according to science, if you're wanting to stick to a habit. So we're going to go through each one individually and then talk a bit more afterwards about what we think. So the first habit that he discussed on the podcast, and he's discussed in his article and on the study, is habit reflection. Now, this isn't something I really thought about before, but this is actually quite interesting. So what you do is you look at a previously successful habit. So say you managed to be successful at eating breakfast at a certain time, right? And that was what you wanted to do. Then you identify what factors and technique led to your success. So what did you do for that to be a thing that was successful? And then what you need to do is devise a way to implement those same factors and techniques for the current habit you want to form. So it's just reflecting on what's been successful in the past. Yeah. So what have you done in the past that you've managed to stick to? What did you do to stick to that? And how can we implement that into the new habit?
And you can go really deep on this as well. So Tony Robbins used to say success leaves clues, which means that, if you've had success somewhere, there will be clues as to why, which is the same sort of thing. And
Mm.
this doesn't just have to be from like conscious decided habits. This could be something you've done out of necessity. Let's say you've had a kid, so very, very new influence on your life. Before you had a kid, you already felt like your time was scarce, but now you've got to find time to be with the kid, to support the kid. You're going to make that a necessity to make it happen. So, along the way, you're going to have to sacrifice something. You're probably going to have to implement some new things because you're doing it out of necessity. So, what have you had to do? Because you've had to create new habits now out of necessity. Those habits that have come out of necessity are going to be no different from what you're going to have to do for a habit you want to achieve in another area of your life that is more consciously achieved, such as like a fitness regimen or something like that. You're going to have clues all over the place about how you have to adapt your life to achieve certain things. So think outside the box when you're looking at this. What other habits have you had where you've had this success, and make sure you understand it enough to re-implement it.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. That's brilliant. So, number one, habit reflection. Reflect on what has previously been successful.
Hmm.
Number two, now I like this one, is have a mini habit. So, if there's something big, and a good one for this is exercise that uses an example here. So, come up with a very brief version of the habit you want to establish and perform it when you don't have time for the full version. For instance, if you don't have time to go to the gym, just do 5 push-ups instead as a backup plan. And I like this. And the way he explained it is, yeah, 10 push-ups, no, or 5 or 10 push-ups isn't as good as working out, obviously. However, it's better than doing nothing. And when you do the 10 push-ups, it then reminds you of the task at hand, and it might motivate you then to go and do a workout the next day or that day. So having a fallback in case you some reason are not motivated, or you don't have the time, whatever it is, having a fallback mini habit will help you stick to the main habit, which people think, well, what if I just end up doing a mini habit all the time? Well, you probably won't, because it will help motivate you. And is, as I said, it's better than doing nothing. It's very easy
Hmm.
to forget that you had a habit you wanted to do when you stop doing it. It's very easy to just not even think about it. But this makes you think about it.
Yeah. I really, really like that, especially the the way it's worded, like the way you've worded it is a fallback that
Mm,
is so short. You should not have an excuse to skip it because that's the
mm,
thing, isn't it? Is having that excuse. And if you can find the time to even do that shorter version, then you are going to feel like, okay, every now and then, yeah, I need to do the real version of this. So
mm,
that's really good. I think we've probably done that naturally quite a few times for workouts. Like, shit,
mm,
I'm running out of time for workouts, but I'm just going to do the top two lifts or something of a workout.
mm,
So it's still keeping that habit locked in, and that's really, really important. I was doing it, so obviously I mentioned at the beginning I'm not doing my cold plunge at the moment, but there was a few times in the weeks leading up to that where I was like, oh shit, I'm really, really in a rush. But what I would do, just so I could tough myself up, I would just literally step into it, plunge, stand back up, put my shoes on, and then crack on and get ready and go to
mm,
work, because I knew I didn't have time, but I didn't want to break that habit. So it's a really that's a really, really important one. Not just because you're doing a habit, but you're keeping it as part of your routine. You're keeping something in the same realm as part of your routine, which is
mm.
so important.
Yeah, and what's really important, like you said, is having it something so small and so easy to do that
Mm,
you don't have an excuse not to do it. You know,
yeah.
something so easy to do that is like, well, of course I can do this. It only takes me 1 second to do, like 10
Hmm.
push-ups, for instance, if you can do push-ups or a couple of squats. You know, it make it so easy that it's like, oh yeah, well, yeah, fuck it, I'll just do that
Hmm.
quick. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, definitely, if you and struggling to hit the main habit, have a mini habit just there, just in case you're unable to do the main one.
Hmm.
So moving on, number 3 on the best habit techniques is home reminders. Now, what this means is write a personal note to yourself and place it in your home or workplace to remind you of the habit you want to form. Now, we all do this naturally, right? We all leave our keys in a specific spot in the house because we know they'll be there, so we don't forget them when we leave the door. Or we all put, like, if we go, oh shit, I need to make sure I have my food tomorrow with me, so I'm going to put it here so I see it when I go out, and then I go. Yes, it's exactly the same thing. So leaving post-it notes, writing on a whiteboard. You can leave like post-it notes all over the house to remind you in places where you know that you stand regularly. Then you can go around and go, oh, yeah, shit, I need to do that. Oh, yeah, shit, I need to do that. Because sometimes is it just a case? I do it all the fucking time. I've got so much on that I will forget some things because I'm too busy in my own little world running around like a madman trying to do lots of stuff. Whereas if I had like a post-it note on my computer here saying, do this, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I need to do that. Or when I go to the toilet, maybe it's on the back of the door when I'm sat down, do this, something like that to remind you to do it. That's I think it's a brilliant idea.
It reminds me of something else as well. So along a very similar vein of this, I really like the idea of logic based rules, which is basically if this then that. So
Hmm.
it's not quite a physical note, but what it is something that if you're doing this, then do that as well. So, for instance, one
Hmm.
of the real common ones I give to my clients: if you're boiling a kettle, do 10 push-ups on your kitchen counter whilst it's boiling. And that's
Mm,
almost it's like anchoring one action to another action to make sure that
mm,
if you're doing something, you're going to do something else in that meantime.
mm,
Otherwise, you're just standing around waiting for the kettle to boil.
mhm,
Another common one I do is when people are brushing their teeth, work on their posture, their core posture, and their hip tilt as well. And just is instead of just having the note, which you can do, and you might need a note to have next to the kettle or on the bathroom mirror when you're doing this, but just
mm,
remind yourself that when you're doing something, do this other thing at the moment, and that doesn't cost you any time either. So it's a perfect way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. So I think there's something I'm going to start doing as well is just get some post-it notes and just start putting them up around the house just to remind me, because there's some habits I want to start creating, and it will remind me to start getting better at that.
I bet Rachel starts fucking with you and just starts adding things to your routine. She'll just be like, "Do the washing up," and put a post-it note above the sink.
I fucking do it all anyway. I need to put them up for her. Yeah. She doesn't listen to this, so we're okay. So the next one is something that's pretty obvious, and we've talked about this quite a lot before, actually, and it's drawing on friends and family. So ask friends or family to support you in your habit change efforts. We talk about accountability all the time and the importance of it. Having a training partner if you go into the gym, having somebody to tell you, are you keeping up with this? Say, the one example I've used before is when with Maliki and we did the no snooze club, where we'd just message each other in the morning and go, yep, I didn't snooze this morning. Yep, I didn't snooze. And having somebody on the other side doing it as well really does help keep you motivated.
Yeah, I like that as well. So because I finish work late most nights, Kimberly does the shopping and the cooking. So she's essentially in control of for my evening meal. She's in control of what food comes into the house and what I have for dinner a lot of the time. So she understands quite a lot of the time that I need I need the protein, I need the carbs and stuff like that. She doesn't do macros or anything like that for me. I've got a rough idea of what that's like. So she I have to rely on her to support me for bringing the right food into that. Also, we've talked about this before. If someone says
Mm.
to me, we're both as bad as each other on this, Josh. I know we spoke about this when we went out for dinner the other night.
Hmm.
If there is food in the house that I shouldn't eat or shouldn't eat all in one go, I don't understand the concept of not eating something all in one go. If there is a tub of Pringles in my house, they're getting smashed in one 10-minute sitting. They're not going to last me over the duration of days. So it's controlling that as well. Like Kimberly understands that what she brings into the house, I am I just I use my willpower for other things. I don't like using it when it comes to food. So if it's in the house, I'm probably going to eat it. And whenever she does something about that, and she says like, "Oh, you can just not eat it," I start singing, "If you don't know me by now," and I just start singing that, to her, and then she's like, "Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
fair enough." And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's that's I think if you've got a partner, especially like having that and support can take many, many different forms in this. It can be help with exercise, help with food. It can be help with just talking things through. It can be so many
Mm.
things.
Yeah, definitely. And you need that good support. If you
Mm.
don't have any support when it comes to getting habits, and if you're struggling to find people, then you have two options. You join the RDA System app
Hmm.
and we'll keep you accountable, or you join the Lifting Lounge Facebook group and we'll keep you accountable there. So
Oh yeah.
you got things. One of them's free, one of them isn't. I'll let you try and figure out which. So
The one that's not is way better though. I'm just saying.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So moving on. Point number 5, and that's listing habit benefits. So make a list of benefits the chosen habit could provide and ponder which benefit is most important. This is something a lot of people don't do, right? Because maybe this is like results drivers and actions. Yeah. You
Yeah.
need to understand why it is you're doing it. So if you've just picked a habit because you think, fuck it, let's just have a habit, that's and not you don't understand why it's benefiting you, you're less likely to keep up with it. So you need to know your whys. We've talked about before about being 5 whys deep, we all of that sort of stuff. So whatever habit you're trying to get, list all the benefits and think outside the box. There's probably more benefits to it than what you
Hmm.
actually think. You might want to eat healthy because you know you're going to lose weight. But there's loads of other benefits for eating healthy other than losing weight. Getting better energy, having a healthier heart, looking better, feeling better, yeah, all of these sorts of things, performing better. There's lots of different benefits to having a habit. Also, the fact that having a habit may make you more consistent with other things. So it's I think it's a really good habit technique is to list the benefits. So if there's something you come away from this episode that you decide, oh, actually, I really want to make sure I nail down this habit, write down why, write down the benefits of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that. I especially like what you said about thinking outside the box with the benefits as well, because that's just going to create all sorts of
Mm,
offshoots, and it might give you other ideas and stuff like that. And the same way, like we speak about results drivers and actions, it's usually the drivers that will make you slightly reevaluate the goals. And the benefits can either be seen as the results or the drivers, to be honest, on this one. So
mm,
it's just brainstorming like all the good shit that's going to come off of it. And I think that is a good practice in positive thinking as well. Like it's just a
mm,
really good way to think in life. Like, how is this stuff going to benefit me? So many
yeah.
people, as a species, we're almost hardwired to focus on the negative because we're more risk averse than reward centric. So just becoming just becoming aware of the good shit that can happen instead of trying to be scared of the bad shit is a really good practice to have.
Mm. So there is a little bit of a hierarchy with these, just a little bit. And they've got a little graph here on the website and results for the best performing habit formation techniques. And the number of extra days per week the habit was completed more than the control group. So these are like randomized. Home reminders was the best one, which was interesting actually. I thought maybe followed by accountability, which I thought would have been the number one myself. Really, I would have thought accountability would have been the top one. So home reminders is the best one. The worst one was habit reflection. However, how many times higher are the odds of someone doing this technique meeting their goal than someone in the control group? Um, the habit reflection, actually, people who did the habit reflection met their goal more than anybody else, whereas people who did the home reminders did more extra days per week, which is interesting. So people who did the habit reflection were almost twice as likely to hit their goal than doing any of the other habits.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said that was the least one.
Yeah,
I
no.
just got
So it's the
confused.
least. It's interesting. So there's two separate parts here. It's the
Right. Okay.
least for extra days per week, right? So
Oh.
how many
Okay.
times they hit their habit per week, but they were the most likely to hit their goal. So they may not have hit it the same
Right.
amount of days per week,
Hmm.
but they were more likely to hit their goal.
Oh yeah, I see. Oh wow, that's interesting, isn't it?
Hmm.
So, yeah. Okay, yeah, and yeah, just for some clarity, the link to this will be in the show notes as well if you want to look over
Mm,
this. Yeah, as you're looking at it, it definitely makes more sense to me as I'm looking at it when I'm listening. So
mm,
yeah, that's actually really good. And habit reflection, I mean, that's it. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
mm.
If you're top of mind about the stuff you're trying to fucking achieve, then you're gonna try to drive towards that in the first place.
But what he did say in this podcast, which is brilliant, is what they did after they found the top 5 habits, they actually did another test afterwards on all the 5 habits together to double check that they were doing well. And they once when you do all 5 habit formation techniques together, almost in a batch bundle, they they performed better again. So you're actually better off doing all of them, doing all 5. If you can find a way to combine all 5 into a daily ritual, you you will then have a better chance of hitting the goal that you want. He does actually have on his website. So his website's brilliant. So he's got loads of free stuff that you can just do, and to like they did tests on the best personality test. So they've got a good personality test. They've got tests on finding out what your intrinsic values are, and then how to work off of that. They've also got a habit ritual on there. So they've got a daily ritual on there, which is those 5 habits and how you can implement them into a daily ritual. So I would suggest if you want to give it a go
Yeah,
on
this
that.
website is amazing. I'm having a play on it. The amount of tools they've got on here is absolutely
Loads.
crazy. I'm gonna get
And
lost on this website.
yeah, they're all free as well, which is mental. All free. He's just giving the shit away. So what this website does is it allows you to really understand yourself, and he talks about this a lot on the podcast. It allows you to understand yourself, and then when you really understand yourself, you can understand you can understand what it is you actually want to do instead of just doing things for the sake of it. So the tool is called Daily Ritual, a habit creation system, and it's 15 minutes to do, and you do it daily, and that will help you hit your habits better. So, and that would include all 5 of these habits. So, I'll quickly recap these 5 habits, and that is habit reflection, mini habits, home reminders, drawing on friends and family, and listing habit benefits. So, I would suggest everybody, if you're trying to set a habit goal and trying to do it the right way, do these 5 habit formation techniques. They've been tested, tried and tested, and we know we like stuff that's tried and tested by smart people. So give it a go.
Definitely check out this website as well. Again, the link will be in the show notes. There's so many things on here. I am going to have a play on some of this stuff in a bit because, that is some really good stuff. We might even implement some of this stuff in our app, to be honest. So, yeah, we'll have a look.
Yeah,
amazing, Josh. Great episode. I liked it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? So, Jack, who's the king of the classroom?
I don't know.
The ruler.
Oh my God. Josh, where can I find us? Funny you should say that, though. And I wonder if it was because it was a ruler. I used to have, I think everyone at school had one, a wooden ruler, and it had all the list of all the monarchs on the back of it. Do you remember seeing one of those at school?
So, I had one of those ones you can bend on the side. It goes.
Yeah. Do you remember the rubber rulers? Was that a thing when you were at school, or were you a bit too young for that? They were like, you could roll them up and they fucking hurt when you twatted someone with it as well.
No, I think you still had like blackboards and chalk in school, though, didn't you?
I'm actually not going to lie. Yes, in primary school there was blackboards and chalk. Yeah.
Pedophilia. So,
oh, Jesus, man. You just always go that extra mile, don't you?
That's what the wife says. So, right. They can find us the RDA Strength System on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We also have a website called www.therdsystem.com where you can find everything regarding the RDA app, and you can find me and Jack on LinkedIn at Josh Parkin or Jack Buffery.
Hell yeah. Guys, wherever you take in our information, please like, subscribe, leave comments, ask questions, join community chats and stuff like that. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit the notification bell so you never miss out when a new episode is released. And really exciting times for us, guys. Josh has been a very busy guy the last couple of weeks, and there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up from some of the stuff he's been up to. So we are incredibly excited about sharing that with you. Also, big stuff coming to the website soon. It's had a bit of an overhaul, so make sure you head over to www.therdsystem.com. While you're there, you may as well sign up to the RDA System app as well, because, you're there already. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. This was episode 92. We will see you for episode 93. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.